as possible. The operation took place in the westernmost region of Russia, one of the most dangerous areas we've ever entered. The closer you get to the European front, the heavier the enemy presence becomes. We had to move quietly and avoid drawing attention. Fortunately, we weren't alone. Several rebel forces volunteered to guide and support us throughout the mission. During the operation, I learned more about why these rebels exist in the first place. Long ago, the Noob Empire was known for maintaining order and stability. It wasn't perfect, but people lived in peace for many years. Everything changed after the Great Imperial Election. A new emperor took the throne, and with him came a completely different vision for the empire. Military expansion became the highest priority. New weapons were developed. Advanced war technology spread rapidly. Before long, countless conflicts had broken out across entire star systems. Not everyone agreed with this new direction. Some noobs could no longer accept what their empire had become, so they secretly formed resistance groups to fight against the new regime. The Guest Empire had a different story. They became close allies of the modern Noob Empire, joining many of the same military campaigns. Together, the two empires grew into a force that very few civilizations were willing to challenge. Even among the guests, however, not everyone supported these decisions. Eventually, guest resistance groups also began to appear. I even heard rumors about a rebel guest general, someone they call the Last Guest. I don't know how much of that is true, but everyone seemed to know the name. As for our mission, the hacking process actually went surprisingly well. Sure, explosions kept landing nearby, and enemy hackers tried to break into our systems more than once. But somehow we managed to hold our ground. We couldn't have done it without Colonel General Reyna and the commander. Their forces kept the enemy occupied long enough for us to finish the upload and evacuate safely. Thanks to this operation, we recovered valuable enemy intelligence while disabling parts of their global navigation network and long-range communication systems. Hopefully, it'll give us the advantage we need in the battles ahead. End of recording. By the way, James, I just found your food card in my back pocket. I'll leave it in your locker outside your room, okay?
Hey, General Kredos. How have you been? It's me, Fearon, lead scientist of the Guest faction. You seem to be having quite a problem with this dummy war of yours, huh? Ah, don't worry. I've got something that should work perfectly on those foolish dummies. You remember the incident where my Guest soldiers raided the dummy base in Alaska, right? Ah, yeah. Those weaklings never stood a chance. We broke through their traps and pushed straight into the inner base. And it looks like we found a certain type of crystal in there. The substance inside that crystal can manipulate living bodies, so I decided to test it with an old project of mine, the control device. And unbelievably, it worked. The device can completely control the person wearing it, and they will obey anyone holding the control transmitter. Tell me, General Kredos, are you thinking what I'm thinking? If we can separate Titan Block and Titan Scale from each other, and take control of their elder brother, the Titan Scale dummy, wouldn't that be perfect?
Back in 1990, one of them was a massive meteorite, a approximately 20 meters in diameter, which crashed into the Quebec region of Canada and created a colossal crater. However, upon investigating every meteorite crash site, not a single injury was found. It was considered unbelievably fortunate, but the true anomaly wasn't the impacts themselves. It was something that came with them. Scientists discovered a green, liquid-like substance. It possessed properties similar to reactive compounds, but it was exponentially more dangerous. Governments worldwide immediately ordered the lockdown of these areas to control the situation. Later, Professor Rowan, a researcher from Canada, along with teams from various organizations, began to study it in earnest. They named the substance nebula fluid. As years passed, the findings began to become abnormal. Nebula fluid could move on its own, almost as if it were alive. And what was even more terrifying was that multiple scientists reported the exact same thing. They heard voices, not actual sounds, but something attempting to communicate directly within their minds. This phenomenon induced severe hallucinations and extreme psychological instability. Consequently, a large number of researchers decided to terminate their experiments, but not Professor Rowan. He continued his research, acting as though he knew something, until he began to exhibit abnormal symptoms. He suffered from severe headaches, experienced hallucinations, and claimed that he could control something impossible to control. Many tried to stop him, but he wouldn't. Then, in the year 2000, the unthinkable happened. Every sphere dummy on Earth vanished. Professor Rowan and the nebula fluid disappeared with them. No traces, no evidence. They just faded away. This event caused immense concern among all factions, as the Sphere faction served as the peacekeepers and mediators of the world. But now, they were entirely gone. There have been scattered reports from civilians claiming to have seen sphere-headed dummies appear for just a fleeting moment, but there is still no concrete evidence to confirm this. And this is all the information we currently have. But the question remains, did they truly disappear, or are they still out there somewhere? And how exactly did this happen?
Their arrival marked the beginning of our world's downfall. We lost everything, our homes, our jobs, our families, even our freedom. The Noob are a powerful alien force believed to come from another galaxy, possessing technology far more advanced than ours. Their reason for invading our world was simple: the three powerful crystals found on our planet. At first, our leaders attempted peaceful negotiations with their ambassadors. But we didn't take long to realize that these beings never intended to cooperate. They were never worthy of being entrusted with the crystals. After rejecting their demands, the Noob immediately launched a full-scale assault to seize the crystals. The war happened fast. Too fast. And we were defeated just as quickly. It looks like another invader has arrived right after we finally defeated the G-Noob. From what we've heard from both the Noobs and these new intruders, they call themselves guests. Judging from what little we know, it seems the Noobs and the guests once fought on the same side. This was completely unexpected, and worse, These guests appear to have technology just as powerful, terrifying, and advanced as the noobs. This is bad. Really bad. Since the guests share similarities with the dummies, it's possible we might already have a guest spy within our own bases. The Alaska base is already falling to the guests. We haven't received any communication from them at all, and that base held one of the crystals they're desperately searching for. God. Even after the Scale and Block tribes came to help, nothing has improved. Everything is getting worse. I just hope our new Titan dummy project is completed before the guests find us first.